So let's start with the price chart. We have a very good movement from the beginning of October till the end of January, and I did a couple of videos about this ticker at the end of January, and I've told you that we have to go lower from this point because we were extremely on overbought territory, and all of the tools and all of the indicators shows me that we can go lower, and basically it happened. So guys, why I started to make a video about Tesla right now? Because we broke this resistance. Let me mark it for you. This resistance was broken this week, and this breakout invalidated this count. The simple zigzag that might be right here, and with the C wave we might go even lower. And with this breakout we invalidated this ABC correction, and this means our ABC correction for now is right here. This is the bottom, and it is a double bottom with the A wave, and it is extremely bullish pattern. So let me show you that on a log scale, on a daily time frame, we can see several waves, and definitely this triangle shows us that this is the third wave, and in my opinion we might have something like this. This is our first wave, second, third, fourth and fifth. Let me show you the wave itself. And this movement has a retracement to these levels, and let me show you that for now we have this reaction from 0.382 level, and this reaction is very bullish, I have to say. We have a double bottom pattern, and it is extremely bullish for any asset, and that's why, in my opinion, after this breakout we might see higher targets, and we might break this previous all-time high. So what to expect next? In my opinion, if it is the real case, if we finished all 5 waves, we can project new targets. And to do so, I pull the Fibonacci extension tool from the bottom of entire movement to the top of this movement and to the bottom of the retracement. And here are some levels. With the assumption that this is the first wave, or on a worst case scenario it is the third wave. In this case our price target is at the level of $1,216 right here. And with the extension in fifth wave, if it is the fifth wave, we might have this range at 1-to-1 extension at the price point of $1,400 as our second target. And third target might be even right here at 1.618 extension level. And it is confluence with the potential third wave. If we've just finished the first wave, we might hit this level, and in this case it might be our primary target. But it is a long-term target, I have to say. But still, from our current price, we might have about 2x to this level, to the level of $1,400. And it is extremely juicy profits with this type of company, with this huge market cap. So, and I want to show you the point where I made my previous video, and it was right here, when we broke this previous support/resistance, and we had this as our top of the B wave, and it is a ABC correction. And when we broke it to the upside, this event invalidates this count as our ABC correction with the lower C point, and that's why we have this pattern as our double bottom pattern. And from this point I've told you that we might hit the level of $1,216 with the next leg to the upside. And as you can see, we hit it to the tick, and it might be some kind of miracle, but every time when the price of certain asset hits the key points, out of nowhere appears some news that drive the price on a particular way. And this news is basically Elon Musk's Twitter. And we have this news, and definitely, despite of these numbers of his poll, this tweet is the most powerful tweet that I've ever seen. Because even if the majority of people vote for no, it will definitely impact the price of the Tesla because of some uncertainty that is on the market right now. And that's why, despite of the results of this poll, we will definitely see a pullback. And this pullback, let me show you where we might land. And to this case, let me first of all clean the chart a little bit. And for this case, I pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom of this movement to the top of this movement, and if it is the top of this wave, and this is the first wave on the same scale as we had right here, and it is the first wave of the third wave on a greater scale, and we might land at the levels, let me turn off log scale, and we might land right here at the ranges of 0.382 at the price point of $978.61. Next one, 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level at $895, and the golden pocket, $811 and $788, this range. And let me show you that we have a confluence, very good confluence with our previous swing top of 0.5 level, and we might bounce from this level because right here we have one of the strongest support that we might have. And another one, we have a confluence with this top. As you can see, this top of our B wave, and it is confluence with the range of golden pocket, statistically the most probable level of trend reversal. And when we have this movement to the downside, definitely we will hit some higher targets, because the lower this asset goes with this movement, the more chances that it will hit higher targets. That's why you have to be prepared to enter your position with these levels. And congratulations to all of you who took this trade during last several weeks. And your profits might be up to 58%. And in a matter of couple of sessions, I will do another update in order to project more detailed targets of next price actions. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this very top, and I've told you that we will definitely hit lower targets, and it was quite easy to predict at that point, because it was the date where Elon Musk announced his poll on Twitter. But I predict this target way before this date, and this target was at the range of $1,216, around this level. So very good gains, and right here we sold all of our shares and we hit some lower targets. Let me show you that I've told you we might hit the ranges of 0.382 and potentially even 0.5 and 0.618. We have very good confluence levels, but for now we hit only this range of about $981. We didn't hit it to the tick, but we know that it is not the exact level, it is the range of levels, and that's why with this price action we hit this level with the price, and it is very technical. So guys, let me show you more thoroughly the most recent sell-off on a 2 hours time frame. And we have this structure, and we all know that we have to have a retracement in a shape at least of simple zigzag, and this zigzag might be right here. From this top we might have this as our A wave, this, or maybe slightly higher we might have our B wave, and one more leg to the downside. And this is the first case. Let me show you the second case. We know that the A wave should be in the shape of 3 waves or 5 waves. Then we have to have a B wave strictly in a shape of 3 waves, and C wave has to have a shape of 5 waves. This means this 1, 2, 3 our A wave, this very shallow our B wave, and this wave is our C. And I don't think that it is my main count for now, because we have very long movement to the upside from the bottom of our C wave right here to this top. We have, let me show it to you. We have about 176 days, and we cannot retrace this entire basically half a year movement to the upside with just several sessions. We have to have longer period of retracement, and let me show you on previous sessions, on previous retracements, that we have these movements to the downside as a quite long price action. Right here we had about 27 days. Right here we had about 22 days. Right here we had about 41 days. and so on and so forth. That's why we have to have some price action below the previous all-time high. This means it is not the lowest point of our retracement, and this means, let me switch to 2 hours time frame again. This means this retracement is not the best retracement and is not the main count for this stock. And this means we might have some kind of this price action. So what should we expect next? If I measure this movement from the top to this bottom, with the Fibonacci retracement tool, we have following targets. As you can see, we hit exactly the range of 0.382, and technically we broke it to the upside. This means we might land in the range of 0.5 levels at the price point of $1,116, or even on a golden pocket, and it is a price range in between $1,145 and $1,153. And from this point, if we will have a trend reversal, we will increase our chances to hit lower targets. But if we will break it to the upside, this pretty much will reduce the chances of this retracement, and this will lead us to next price target of our previous all-time high, and potentially we might hit our major next targets at the price points. Let me show it to you. At the price points of about $1,400, and even with the extension in the fifth wave of $1,931. So for now it is too early to make this assumption, and that's why we have to keep an eye on this price action. And if we will have a trend reversal and then we will break a bottom of our A wave at the range of $990, this will definitely indicate that this is our main count, and we have to land somewhere at potentially 0.5 or golden pocket range, and this will be your main accumulation point for the long term with this company. This point, and I've told you that we have to form our ABC correction, and this is the most common type of correction where we might have in our retracement mode. And I've told you that we might hit some higher targets with our top of the B wave, and pretty much this is the top one. And then we might have one more leg to the downside. And with this breakdown lower than this point, we confirmed that this top was the top of our B wave, and we have to land the bottom of our C wave. So everything is 100% expected, and you can count on my technical analysis as a part of your due diligence, because I nailed basically all of the movements of Tesla with my TA. So first of all, guys, let me clean the chart a little bit. I don't need this scale anymore. And we have this Fibonacci retracement tool and these levels as our primary levels. And I pull this tool from the very bottom of the latest movement to the very top. And these levels are extremely important from the technical standpoint. As you can see, we bounced with a very good volume from the 0.382 level, and technically it might be a bounce with the upside, huge upside potential. And if we will break the top of our B wave, this will confirm that we might have this bottom of the C wave right here at the range of 0.382, right below $1,000 price point. But if we will break this range again, we might definitely land at lower price actions. And if this count is correct, if we will have this as our top of the B wave, we can project some targets. And for this case, I pull the Fibonacci extension tool from the top of this wave to the bottom of the A wave and to the top of the B wave right here. And we have very good confluence level of 0.6 Fibonacci extension range with our previous, let me show it you, it is our previous swing high, previous all-time high, I have to say. And it is the price point of roughly $900. Also, all of the round numbers like $900, $1,000 might be very good psychological numbers where we might have at least a bounce or some kind of reaction. That's why, in my opinion, if we will break this bottom, this will indicate that we potentially might land at this range of 0.5 at the price point of $898. If we will break this range, we might land at golden pocket, and it is the range in between $794 to $817. But so far it is too early to make this assumption. Just remember that the 0.382 point might be your first accumulation point for the long term with this company. But you have to be prepared for the price action that might hit lower targets. I made my previous video right here at this very point and I've told you that we have a double bottom pattern and this is a very bullish pattern and we hit exactly the range of 0.382. It's a price point of $980.87 and from this point we went higher. And I've told you that the 0.382 is your first accumulation point if you want to invest in this asset. And second one might be at the 0.5 level at around $90 price point, and the golden pocket, the range in between $794 and $817. So technically, you might have a position from this point, and from this point you might be up for about 15% during just 1 week. Very, very good achievement, and congratulations to all of you who took this trade. As you can see, we broke the top of our B wave with this movement to the upside. First of all, we had this range as our resistance, and we have at least two attempts to break it. But on the third attempt, we broke it with very good volume right here. And we might have some kind of retracement in order to retest this level. And let me mark it for you, this range of the top of the B wave. And with the good conviction of volume, we have to have a bounce in order to achieve new targets. And let me show you where you might see the same exact pattern. If I zoom out a little bit, we have exactly the same pattern as a double bottom pattern right here at this retracement, and we also broke this top of the B wave, and right here at this very moment I made a video about an upcoming targets, and we hit this target to the tick. Let me show it to you. I project this target and it was a 0.786 Fibonacci extension level, and we hit it to the tick and then had a bounce. So we can project another target by putting Fibonacci extension tool from the bottom of this wave to the top of this wave and to the bottom of the retracement. And with the assumption that we have to land our next wave, and if it is the repeatable pattern, we might land at the range of 0.786. It is a $1,528. But also we have a confluence level with our secondary target from this range. It is one-to-one extension, and potentially we might hit first of all the target of $1,400. And it is also a confluence level with this price target of Whitbush's Dan Eves forecast. So we have a triple confluence target of $1,400, and this means if we will hold this line, if we won't break this support, and if we won't go lower than the level of 0.382, it is $980, we have more chances to hit these targets. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this very point. When we broke the top of our B wave, we have two touches with the attempts to break it, but on the third time we broke it eventually and went higher. And instead of retested from the top and remain bullish, we broke it again, and for now we are hovering around this level. It is not the very best price action, but still we are more bullish than bearish for now, and it is a rather good sign. As I already mentioned, December will be a crazy month because we have huge news from both sides, from bull side and from bear side. And this means we have to be very cautious with our projections and with our position. And for now we have our main accumulation point right here, the most recent accumulation point at the price point of about $980. And we have this type of retracement from the very top to this bottom. But I also have another breakdown of this recent price movement, and it might be like this. We might have this as our A wave, this is our B wave, and potentially we might have one more leg to the downside to form the bottom of our C wave. And this breakdown also doesn't violate the Elliott wave theory rule, because we have 5-wave structure in our A wave. We have for now 2-wave structure in our B wave. And we are forming our C wave, and C wave should have 5 waves in it. And what potential targets we might hit? If it is the case, we have to confirm it by breaking the bottom of our A wave. the level of about $980, and in this case most likely we might hit about $900 price point in order to complete the C wave, and this might be your next accumulation point if we'll break the bottom of our A wave. Otherwise, to disprove this layout, we have to break the top of our B wave, and in this case we become more bullish, and in this case we have more chances to hit our major target, and this target is at the range of about $1,400, and this target is very viable until we won't break the $980 price point. I made my previous video right here, at this very point, and at that point my main count was that we have to have a retracement in a shape of simple zigzag, and everything corresponds with the Elliott wave theory, because we have 5-wave structure in our A wave, right here as you can see. We have 3 waves structure in our B wave, right here. And we were at the very beginning of forming the 5-wave structure in our C wave. And my main assumption was that if we would break the top of our B wave right here, we remain bullish, and we will hit this range, our price target of about $1,400. Otherwise, if we would break the bottom of our A wave right here, the range of about $980, we confirm this retracement, and we are more bearish for now, and we are about to hit some lower targets. We all know that the C wave should have strictly 5 waves structure in it. And for now we have, let me show it to you, for now we have only, this is our first wave, this is our second, third, fourth, and we have for now this bottom at around $1,000 mark as the bottom of our 5th wave. But it is a very truncated 5th wave, and I have to say that most probable we will see lower targets with the bottom of our 5th wave, and this 5th wave will be the bottom of our C wave. So, and what should we expect next? Let me clean the chart a little bit, and I will show you how we can project the target. So, first of all, let's measure the length of the first wave on this C wave compared to the third wave. And what do we have here? Let me adjust it a little bit. As you can see, we almost hit 1.618 extension level, and it is very technical level. Basically, it is the range, the most common range where we might land the length of our third wave compared to first one. This means this movement to the downside is very technical. This means we can project the length of the 5th wave compared to the length of the third one. And to do so, I pull the Fibonacci extension tool from the top of the third wave to the bottom of the third wave, because we move south, and to the top of the 4th wave right here. And the most probable range is 0.786. It is $901.79, and it is strong confluence level with this support and resistance, and pretty much the confluence level with our 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level from the bottom of this wave. Let me show it to you. From this point to this one. And this confluence is a very strong support, and we might hit it with the next movement to the downside. But also we can project, let me show it to you right here, also we can project the length of the C wave compared to the length of the A wave. And usually this ratio is 1 to 1. And if I pull the Fibonacci extension tool from this top to this bottom and to the top of the B wave, what do we have here? So, $936.42 is our 1-to-1 extension, and we didn't quite hit it right here with this movement to the downside, and we have to finish the bottom of our 5th wave. So, what should we expect? In my opinion, we might land somewhere at the ranges from $936 to $901 if this level holds. From this point, we might have very good bounce to the upside. This means if you want to accumulate your position, basically $1,000 mark is a rather good entry point if you want to invest for the long term with this company. But if you want to catch the entire movements of this stock, and my technical analysis with about 80% accuracy shows that you can do it, and this means accumulate your position below the $940 mark, because in this case we will reach the range of bottom of our third wave, and we will have very good chances to hit the price targets in between $936 to basically $900. And $900 is the next psychological number from which we might have a trend reversal. So guys, first of all, I want to pay your attention on this tool, and previously on my several videos I had this stop somewhere at this point, and it was made incorrectly, and I didn't get where I make this wrong forecast, but it didn't lead to wrong forecasts, because on my recent technical analysis I didn't count on these ranges, and for now we have this tool adjusted properly, and we have the confluence level of 0.5 with our yellow line, and it is the support/resistance from previous swing high that we hit on January 25th, 2021. And for now this range is very psychological number, because it is a round number of around $900, and on top of that we finished or almost finished the entire movement of the C wave, and this is basically the entire retracement. This means this one of the main accumulation points, and next one might be right here at the ranges in between $800 and $787, and it is also confluence range with this yellow line, and it is the top of our B wave, the previous support and resistance, and it should work perfectly well. So, and what should you do if you want to enter the position? For now, if you want to invest in this company, you can buy at this range, but you have to keep in mind that we have about 35% probability to hit golden pocket, the range at around $800, and it will be another round number that potentially might be the accumulation point. So, and I think if you want to catch the trade with the Tesla, we don't have enough confirmation, because we don't have higher highs and higher lows in order to establish our stop loss orders and take profit orders. So, and that's why just invest in this company if you believe that this company will continue its growth in 2022, and fundamentally everything shows that it will continue its growth. So guys, we have very good movement to the upside, but my main concern about this movement is that it is extremely sharp. We shouldn't have this movement in a matter of several sessions for about 25% of its value. In my opinion, it is a little bit suspicious. And as you can see, I drew this line when we had this previous stop. So, and we hit this range and bounced back from it. And right here, I can see some bullish sign, because potentially this might be a bullish flag, a bull flag. And this formation usually breaks to the upside. But right here, let me show you, with this movement, I cannot count 5 waves structure. I clearly see only 3 waves, and this might be an ABC to the upside, and then we might have a lower price action. That's why we have to be cautious, and we have key levels. First of all, if we will break this resistance and establish higher highs again, we will have a 5-wave structure in this movement, and this will invalidate this ABC correction as our primary count. But otherwise, if we will break this range of about $996, this means we will have more bearish pressure in upcoming sessions, and this will lead us to lower price points. So, for now, I have to say that it is not the best point to enter your long position with Tesla, because we haven't enough confirmation to see next leg to the upside. And this means the probability of next movement to the highest price targets are not so probable. So guys, first of all, let me show you that for now we have this breakdown according to Elliott wave theory as our main one. And for now we have the top of our 5th wave at this very point, but because of this huge gap, it is extremely difficult to make the breakdown of the ending 5th wave, and this means we might hit higher targets. So, it is what it is, just be cautious. We have extremely high volume with this movement to the upside, and it is quite obvious. But all in all, I don't think that you have to enter your position at this very point, because even if we will go higher, we have major resistance at this all-time high level of about $1,243, and potentially we might hit this range and go lower. And in this case, we should pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from the very bottom to the very top. For now, we have this range as our highest point, but if you will hit some higher targets, we should adjust this tool to this range. And in this case, you can accumulate your position on the ranges of from 0.382 all the way down to golden pocket. And with the total bullishness of this asset, I don't think that we might hit this low range of about 0.65 and 0.618. Even if we will hit this range, this level of previous all-time high, as you can see, our huge confluence level again will be at the range of about 0.382 Fibonacci retracement, and it will be $1,100. So I think you should put your buy orders right around this range, because potentially we might fill even this gap with upcoming several sessions. First of all, guys, let me show you first negative sign. As you can see, we have this huge volume, and this is the red volume. This means we have much stronger bearish pressure on this stock, and this volume usually indicates the new trend. So potentially we might have a trend continuation to the downside because of this volume alone. And let me show you what should we expect on an hourly time frame. As you can see, we finished all 5 waves structure to the upside, as I mentioned on my previous video, and I've told you that my concern from the technical standpoint was that this movement is very sharp. We had, let me show you, we had about 36% of upside movement within just a week, and this is extremely dangerous to enter the position on this movement to the upside. And as you can see, we have this retracement for now, and usually the retracement should have a shape of simple zigzag. And if it is the case, we might have this as our A wave. Potentially we might have the B wave somewhere here. I will show you what is my projection. And the C wave should be at least a double bottom pattern, or maybe lower, and this means we might hit lower targets. So as you can see right here, we clearly have 5 wave structure, and if it is the case, usually A wave should have a shape of 3 waves or 5 waves structure, and we have these waves right here. It is a perfect 5 wave structure, and B wave should have as well 3 wave structure. And it might be something like this. So what should we expect where we might land the top of our B wave? Let me turn off unnecessary tools. To project this range, we have to pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from this top to this bottom. And let me show you that we have several levels. I don't need this range as well. So as you can see, from this point we have the highest chances to have a trend reversal, but our targets might be at these ranges as well, and we might hit $1,057 mark, next one $1,087 mark, next one $1,111 mark, and it is a confluence with our previous top of our third wave, and we have a bunch of confluences from these ranges. Next one, golden pocket. So we have the possibility to hit these levels, and if you want to catch this movement to the upside, and it is also quite a decent movement, I have to say, we might hit up to 10%. But still, we have more bearish pressure for now, and most likely we will have one more leg to the downside that will lead us to lower price points. And if we will break this bottom, if we will have some kind of movement to the upside depending on where we might land, and if we will break the bottom of our A wave, this means our ABC correction will be pretty much confirmed. And in this case, we should use the bigger picture, and on the bigger picture we still have our following targets. The 0.5 range of about $892, and it is the Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom of our recent wave. Let me show it to you. If I pull it from this bottom to this top, as you can see, we have 0.5 at $892 and the golden pocket, and this range is roughly $800. As you can see, we have another confluence with the top of our previous high, and we have pretty much round number of $900 and $800. So if we will break the range of about $1,009 to the downside, it will confirm this retracement, and we will have huge chances to hit this level. So guys, first of all, let me delete this tool. I don't need it for now, and I don't need this structure as well. So what should we expect next? Definitely we have extremely high volume with this movement to the downside. This means the higher volume is, the more possibilities that we will continue this trend. And unfortunately, we have two confirmation signs that we will hit lower targets. First of all, it is our ABC correction structure, and we didn't complete the 5-wave structure in the C wave yet. This means we might have a trend continuation. And the volume is the second confirmation sign that we might continue this trend. So, where we might land? Definitely we have this range of previous bottom of $892.53 as our major support, and we didn't break it right here. And this might be a level where we might have at least a bounce. And if I measure the length of the A wave, compare it with the length of the C wave, we have this range of $880 as a one-to-one extension, and it is the most common extension in the C wave compared to A. This means we might land right here, and if we will have a huge volume in this movement to the downside, and if we will break this range of support with increasing volume, this means we might see lower price targets. So what should we expect in a greater scale? Let me zoom out to 4 hours time frame. And all in all, I have to say that this movement, this retracement and this consolidation phase is very healthy for the Tesla's price. Because we have to unload the movement from $600 all the way up to $1,200, and this should last for quite a while. And this means when we will have some lower price targets around $900 and below, it will be extremely attractive levels for you as an investors to put your money into the Tesla. Because in a greater scale, this company has outstanding fundamentals. They about to launch their gigafactories in Berlin and in Austin, and this means in upcoming year, at least 50% of upside potential from the levels of $900 and below will be almost guaranteed for this stock. So guys, all in all, I am extremely bullish on Tesla, and we all know that their major catalyst for 2022 is two new factories, Giga Berlin and Giga Austin in Texas. On top of that, they have extremely high demand for their vehicles, and their deliveries rates are growing like crazy. This means overall, this company is very bullish in my opinion, and we have to complete the consolidation phase in order to have more steam to hit higher targets. And that's why I think from the technical standpoint we still have more chances to hit lower targets, and this will be a next opportunity to enter your position or to add to your investment portfolio some Tesla shares. So what should we expect next? In my opinion, we have key point right now at this range, at the bottom of our A wave, and if we will break $980 price point, this will confirm the ABC correction pattern, and this will lead to potential targets of around $900. Let me show you that if I pull the Fibonacci extension tool from the top of this wave to the bottom of the A wave and to the top of the B wave, in order to project the length of the C wave compared to its A wave, we have following level. $932 at 0.786 Fibonacci extension level, and the one-to-one extension, the most probable range where we might have this bottom of the C wave is $883. This means if we will break the bottom of our A wave of $980, we might definitely have this price target as our major accumulation point, because all in all we have the confluence with the bottom of our previous swing low, and it is a confluence with this yellow line. It is the previous swing high. It was an all-time high back in 2021, and this means this range of around $900 to $880 might be extremely powerful range of accumulation for the majority of investors. This means from this range we might have a trend reversal and we might hit higher targets. On top of that, if we will have this range as our pivot point, we will have a double bottom pattern, and this pattern is extremely bullish, and from this range we might hit higher targets. So guys, let's zoom out a little bit on an hourly time frame, and let me show you that we have this ABC correction. And I have to say that C wave should have a shape of 5-wave structure, and for now, in my opinion, we don't have these 5 waves, we have only 3 of them. And this might be the first wave, this might be the second, this is the third one, fourth, and we have to have one more leg to finish this entire wave. And this leg, don't get me wrong guys, this leg might be truncated. We might hit the range of about $900, and from this range we might go higher. Next possibility, we might have a double bottom pattern. It is a very good bullish pattern. And next one, we might have an extension in the 5th wave, and let me project the length, potential length. To do so, I have to pull the Fibonacci extension tool from the bottom of the 3rd wave to the top, basically from the top of the 3rd wave to the bottom of the 3rd wave, because we have the movement to the downside, and to the top of the 4th wave to project the length. And let me show you the targets. First of all, as you can see, we have 0.786 Fibonacci extension level at $750 price point as the most probable range where we might land. But also, we have very good support on a greater scale. Let me zoom out again a little bit. We have golden pocket pattern at the ranges in between $787 to $809, and it is confluence with our 0.618 Fibonacci extension level right here. And how to define, will we go this deep or not? It is quite simple for now. Let me show you. As you can see, we have this range as our support line, and from this point we had a reversal, and this means if we will break the range of about $851, we will definitely have a huge possibility to hit the range of about $800. And on top of that, let me show you again on a slightly greater scale. We have to zoom out a little bit. If I make this type of channel, if I connect these bottoms, let me show it to you, and project it to these tops, as you can see, despite of these 2 peaks, we pretty much have this channel as our main channel. And this channel definitely is a bullish one, because if it is the false breakout to the top of the 5th wave right here, we might consider it as a bullish flag, and this pattern usually breaks to the upside. So definitely we have the range of about $851 as our main point of control, and we have to keep an eye on this range. But if you want to invest in this asset for the long term, just add to your position on red candles, and the range of about $900 is a very good range to accumulate your position. Because in the long term, this company will exceed all the expectations, and definitely $900 is a very good entry point.